going to try to make it the best night for you and for us. First off, we have to say thank you to the American Townhouse, to Matt and Jeremy. Then we have to say we have free magnets and free stickers that are out in the back on the back table, so please check them out. They are for you. I'm Todd Cirillo. And we truly appreciate you all coming out for our poetry party this evening. It means a lot, and it also means that you know good literature. So that's important. So let me get a look at you. Better yet, let me take a photo. Y'all look beautiful. Come on, be beautiful. You deserve. If no one has told you that you're gorgeous tonight, I'm telling you right now. So if you like poetry, please buy the books. We've got everyone's book back there. Julie's, Linzi's, Nikki's, everyone's book back there. My brand new book, Disposable Darlings, are back there. Because it really helps the poets and it helps the publishers. And who here believes that education is important for our society? That's really baiting you fuckers, isn't it? I believe education is important, so what I say is this. If you like the poetry, buy the books. If you do not like the poetry, please buy the books, because then you can educate everyone on what shitty poetry is. I'm going to say this before we get into it, that there's nothing disposable about these poets that I have here tonight. They're simply the best. And you know, I judge people upon if I can drink with them. And I say I can drink with all of these ones. Every single one. Buy them drinks, buy their books, and you'll find out quickly why I love them so. So above all, we're here to have a good time. Who's ready to have a good time? Do you believe you deserve to have a good time? Yes, you do. And each poet here wants to hear that. When they're on stage, let them know you are out there, whether you love their stuff or you do not love their stuff. Let them know. That will make us better. Think of us as your poetry prostitutes for this evening. We are not here to be silent. Guess who's coming up first? A return engagement. I will read her official bio, and then I will have some comments afterwards. Julie Valin has been writing poetry since arcades and bubblegum lip smacker were a thing. Her poems have appeared in various publications, anthologies, and in your dreams. I like that. Her newest book is Songs for Ghosts by Meadowlark Press. She lives in Northern California, where she is always among book stacks, whether as a library assistant or piled artfully on her nightstand. She goes best with a touch of salt and a kiss of lime. All of you beautiful people, I'm starting with her because I want to set the proper tone for this evening. I want to get her out here before the Jaeger bombs and tequila shots take hold. Ladies and gentlemen, the sweetheart of the West Coast,
Thank you, darling. So lovely to see your faces, each and every one of you. I see you. I see you all. Thank you for having me. This is going to be fun. Todd, love ya. A poet drinks alone. A poet drinks alone tonight. You would either love that or hate it, but I know you'd support the overall intention. These days, you have none of this. You have beaches and road trips, beds that are too small for two of you. You have a traveling muse and a true poetry partner, a built-in drinking buddy, a midnight hand holder. Who needs poetry when you've got all that? Poetry is for those with empty pockets, wilted hearts, too big beds, missing partners, no gas in the tank. Tonight, I'm a poet, a stranger who walked into a bar, alone, not missed, empty, with a glass kept half full, thanks to the bartender who's the only one who sees me for who I really am, even though he doesn't know my name. Artsy crafty my ass. I was called artsy crafty once by a guy I met online after a night of eating ice cream out of his mouth like a bird, cold, sweet, the hot zing of his tongue. Too artsy crafty, he said, after listening to the Pixies on my bed, the last golden light of sun dipping into evening, spotlighting our two forms, mixed with the purple swirls of the batiqued turtles on my comforter. Maybe it was the comforter. All I'm saying, pretty baby. Me singing all the words through his lips. You know what comes next. I even sang that. My hair, a black sea lapping up his fingers. Him looking down into the depths, what's a hard one to say, of what I thought I was offering, but only seeing himself in the surface waves. Maybe for some ungodly reason, he didn't know any of the words to any Pixies songs. Maybe he never saw my leather jacket and my red combat boots. Maybe he thought my Toyota was something elementary art teachers drive. Maybe he mistook me for a wine drinker. Maybe he thought my playful desire meant I want to create him from scratch using only popsicle sticks. Without knowing, I would then set them on fire just to catch the colors of the glow. After I drank the absinthe, he held me parallel to the ground, and we floated around and around like a Chagall painting. And when I opened my eyes, the horse's face was above us, a halo of sun in his mane, and everything kept turning, smearing the sky into the sun, and we were happy, ecstatic, with the carousel horse smiling down on us, the breath from his nostrils shining. Familiar yet forgotten. Across the space, around all the people gathered in the dim room, I see him, the way his hands disappear in his pockets, The easy way he stands, the smile lines pointing to his cobalt eyes. I saw him somewhere before, know his face like I've seen it up close. But who the hell is he? He is either someone I made out with once or somebody famous. For the goddamn life of me, I can't decide which. Every time he comes near, I sneak a glance at him right in his eyes, where I'm sure a spark of recognition will leap toward me. Nothing. Not even a look. He must be famous. Put me on. Pick me off your shelf because it's a Sunday morning and the coffee's brewing. Your head is a door slamming shut and the sun's eye is open wide to the day. The melody might start out slow, sort of in the background, but it will become recognizable and distinct, like the car window capturing the chalk white moon in between the arms of the pines. Put me on because you're in the mood to choose the unlucky one, so you're not so alone. I'm the one you want for this moment. Close your eyes, listen carefully to the spaces in between the notes. My voice will fill your room. Rounds, rap on the jukebox, not meant for such a fine machine. But I drink anyway, not afraid of the fucking night. Someone will get in a fight, but I'll be here where it's warm, on the same bar stool, ordering another round of Red Bull and vodka, knocking myself out with my dollar and Muddy Waters blues. Boys in cars. Those iconic summer moments, like Phoebe Cates stepping out of the pool in slow motion in that red bikini, diamond drops pooling over her curves and puddling at her feet, everything moving in stereo. We didn't have that. Our moments of getting out of the pool were just running to our towels. We had only butterfly crop tops and lightning bolt shorts. We had the sticky sweet sun of summer and how it made us hungry for boys in cars. We'd parade the streets like our own kind of advertisement for something we couldn't quite market yet and didn't know how, but a honk meant someone was buying it. The whole scene like a backward ice cream truck, every Mustang and Camaro a potential customer driving around, craving something sweet, blasting the radio like a call, and us, the starving ones they pull over for, practically holding up signs that said, "Make us melt." Cheers, darling. Rock and roll with heart and soul for Todd Cirillo. Every song has a you that the singer sings to, and you're it this time, baby. You're it this time. Ani DeFranco. You think all I am is quiet, understated, and more prone to sway than to slam. But you aren't here to see my shining moments in my car with the windows wide open like a scream, and Fugazi or Run the Jewels on blast, pounding the steering wheel. It doesn't matter that it's country roads I'm rolling down. The point is, I am center stage in my own rock and roll life, and somewhere there is an audience of at least one. It's proven I've been up there in front with the best of them, including you. The energy of the crowd passing my heart around high overhead after the epic stage dive. It is prone to taking again and again. You do have a point about the rhythm of the blues, though, how it suits my soul to just sit on a porch on a Sunday with the easy breeze of a California evening, with nothing but memories and a refilled glass. You would say I would rather not be slinging the microphone, but what do you think I'm doing with these words? Even if it's just you listening, why do you think I still keep on singing? Negotiating with pirates. I used to glorify pirates, their balls out attitudes of taking what they want, storming the Indian seas with their mates, singing songs, getting rowdy, drinking an endless supply of booze, their eyes glinting with all their loot. But now, after seeing the ugly truth of it all, the raping and pillaging, the destruction and ransoms, I just see them as assholes with rotten teeth. These days, I'd settle for 2 bottles of red wine shared equally among friends, sailing Lake Tahoe by the gold glow of sunset, laughing, singing 80s songs, and telling wild stories of all we've conquered. Thank you. Drunk satisfaction. If 2 white Russians made with your grandmother's jackass jigger glass overtake your keto withered body on a Wednesday night, slightly after dinner time, and the only person around to see it is your best friend halfway across the country on a screen, are you still drunk? We were right in the middle of a meaningful discussion about what poetry can or can't do for the people when my phone goes dead. With that apt metaphor, I bump around in the kitchen with my curious dog staring at the floor by my feet, and I'm doing this and I'm slicing that, and the Stones come on the radio, and I'm trying to make some toast, but I can't get no avocado. The knife slips, flies, and skids across the floor and lands right under my dog's nose. But somehow I don't miss a beat and continue chopping things. I make something edible, having to do with mayo and mustard and cheese and a low-carb tortilla with a side pile of Doritos because I'm a rebel like that. I make another white Russian with my grandmother's glass, do a silent air cheers to all the jackasses, and think more about poetry and what the people want when it comes to it. I have no answers, except this sandwich thing is rewarding and those Doritos really clench the deal, which is all the satisfaction I'm gonna get on a Wednesday. This is another poem for my BFF Todd. called Another Poem Lives. This is from my book, Songs for Ghosts. Shameless self-promotion. Another Poem Lives. He picked me up at the Louis Armstrong Airport, followed by a failed attempt at the drive-through daiquiri shop. With the joint surrounded by 6 cop cars and the worker being walked out in handcuffs. Sans daiquiris, he drove me around the Lower Garden District, pointing out shotgun houses and antebellum witches' mansions, the colors and shapes, a gallery of streets, and then an evening walk down Magazine to the neighborhood Vietnamese place under a vampire sky. Now, here we are in his New Orleans living room, drinking vodka and sodas out of famous glasses etched in New Orleans architecture. 3 years gone, and little Walter playing against the rock and roll hum of the window cooler and overhead fan. He tells me stories of his after-hours adventures in his new adapted dialect, with all traces of California gone. He remains a poem wrapped up in life. Even his street is named after the Greek muse of lyrical poetry, for God's sake. He refills our glasses and somehow she comes up. He loved her, he admits. He still loves her. At least you got some damn good material, I offer. Yeah, he exhales in sort of a laugh. That material can sure keep me warm in the middle of the night. If I set it on fire. The famous glass he's holding sweats like tears running down on what will now become this famous August night. The humid air choking and glistening with truth as the blues ring out and another poem lives and breathes. Oh boy, what do I want to do? Okay, I might do it. Okay, poetry series of the Laughing Assholes. Every third Thursday, my job was to take the cookies out of the package from last month and arrange them on a plate. But Bill ran the mic and the stage lights, did his long introductions until the audience heckled and threw spitballs with their torn journal pages. And Todd just showed up and pretended to do work in the sound booth. I would join him back there, and we would sit in the cave of it, just him and I, popping tops off beers from our book bags, and laugh at the scene set up before us, purely for our own amusement. We were the ringmasters of a circus no one knew they were in the middle of, and all the sad sack performers were also the audience members who just wanted their 7 minutes of mic time when it was only supposed to be 3. No one could stop them, and there was always a point where it became more entertaining not to. Sienna drove all the way from the ridge, 25 miles, the bottoms of her bare feet dirt black. Her of the land poems reeked of what she harvested on the actual land. And all her metaphors were really all the men who left her and made her stronger and more evolved as a woman. Todd looked at me sideways when I finger snapped as she exited the stage. But we just kept slouching back there, drunken masters pulling the string of our bottle cap wisdom, swallowing our own torched words. The hotter we got, the more we gave up on the whole thing and let it all go to the animals. We let Mina sing her Edith Piaf songs in the key of hyena. And we let old Henry leaf through his stack of lined, handwritten pages for half his allotted time until he found the poem he had just written that day about the peace protests of 1967, and Eleanor, who we nicknamed Woodface, as a literal description of how she read her poems, would stand up there like a statue doing a ventriloquist act to read one more poem about cancer. And then that was the end of us. 2 more caps stacked on our pile, and all the jokes about us being the ones stuck with the cancer. Poets killing poetry, Todd would say, and I would laugh along with him, just so we could have one more beer together, just so we could shrink in the back and rule our own dark corner of the world, just so we can outlive the rest of them, just so we could keep pulling our heads out of the lion's mouth and say, see, we saved poetry for one more night. Just a few more. My own blues song. The road you drive on, baby, winds around crooked trees and potholes. It's ancient gravel ground to dust, but you don't go no other way. No, you don't go no other way. You keep on riding down the road that leads out of here, even though it's unkind and takes twice as long. You ain't even looking at the daisies she planted on your lawn. You just hop on and crank the pedal of your roaring man bike, leaving her on the porch holding a homemade berry cobbler and a spatula. Come back, baby, she say. She say, baby, don't go long, but you don't hear it with your black helmet on. You might as well keep on driving, baby, leaning too far into the corners, going fast as you please, 'cause if she ain't giving you what you need, you must not need a damn thing. No, you must not need a goddamn thing. Okay, this is my last one. The darlings you keep. There are so many you can never forget, and you are really good at collecting and calling them treasures, calling them fortunes, pure gold, the perfect pour, your best lines. Even your trials and errors are precious, because you seek and find the poem in every moment, even the ones that never happened or almost did. You are a pirate poet in pursuit of the perpetual sunny day. See? Where parrots sing you their songs, and the midnight blue nights when the neons compete with the stars, forming constellations you travel by. A sucker pushing the fate of the next green light when you're rushing, or a red light to catch a young woman crossing in a green dress, possibly winking at you. You still believe in the morning after and messages written in lipstick on the bathroom mirror, that her driving away is just a direction to come back from, that there will be a poetry reading you can sit through all the way to the end, hopefully with a free beer, that you will always be known as an artist despite being a poet, or maybe because of it. All of it, friends singing to Prince on the jukebox, all the glittered beads and thrown kisses, the undelivered birthday gifts, demolished trucks and blank text messages. All of it are the darlings you keep. All of it stored here on the page and outside the margins, in pocket notes and bar napkins, on the smooth edges of the 4 chambers of your heart, where it will always blink. Come on in neon pink.
Remember, no one here tonight is a disposable darling. Maybe myself. Here we go.
98, whatever it is.
Next up, Nikki Ummel. I'll read her bio. Nikki Ummel is a queer artist and editor in New Orleans. Nikki has been published in a bunch of places and has been drunk in a lot more of them. She's won awards, but the one she is most proud of is holding the women's record for the fastest beer mile in Washington, D.C. Take a guess what her prize was. It was a bottle opener on a string. For more charming and alarming stories, buy her beer, buy a copy of her book, or if you're both feeling feisty, she's on Instagram and on the internet. But most importantly, she's right here, right now, and she wants to talk to you. I am really honored that Nikki's agreed to be part of this. She didn't have to. I didn't pay her. But here's how I knew that she would be the best. There were many things, text messages back and forth, but the one that stood out to me, and on top of the fact that she has a line in one of her poems that I hold and cherish because it's so fucked up and weird. I am not your home anymore. I've heard that. But this morning at 9:07 in the a.m., she texted me, "When do we start the party today?" Nikki Ummel, everybody.
Yeah, girl. Yeah. Whoa, watch those things. Sound guy is concerned about the series.
Todd, what is this lovely woman's name? It is such an honor to be here. I did. What's her name? Big Tree? Big Judy. How dare you? Judy. How dare you? Get out of my poetry. I'm sorry, Judy. I can't believe it. Oh, that's not, okay, shit, fine. Okay. It's, I had so many things to say to you, and then this happened. Hi. So, a couple of really important details that you need to know right now. I intentionally didn't eat food today, so that I would be a really cheap date for myself, because inflation obligation is real. Every time I finish a poem, I'm gonna ask you to drink with me. I hope you do that. I have a bunch of poems. First of all, I have one copy of this book with me, and it's written to Bronwyn. So if anyone wants to be my Bronwyn for that, it says, Bronwyn, I love you, seriously. Always like Snape, LOL, I'm drunk. I don't know what that's from. So if you want to be Bronwyn, it's $10. One lucky person that's not Bronwyn. But it can be you. So anyway, also another important detail, as soon as I finish, I'm gonna go pee, and it's gonna be really weird because I'm gonna like go this way. Because the bathroom's behind us. I really like you. What's your name? We met, but I forgot.
Yeah, it's fine. But no, it's just logical. The bathroom's over there.
No, but what's your name?
I'm Grant.
Oh, great. All right, cool. So today is Jesus's birthday. It's not. It's the day Jesus died for us. So this poem I dedicate to the Lord. It's called Strap One On, Mother Mary. Mary, scrappy like she could throw a punch, or nice china if crossed. Mary, skinny armed from travel, from youth, from years of dipping clay jars in wells and tending pregnant ewes. I see Mary in her arms and I beg God for skinniness like her, alluring enough to be divine. Mary, so tender they flee Nazareth and family. Mary screaming at Joseph, get the fuck out, as God found. Mary with myrrh at her son's feet, Mary unmoored, Mary the widow, headed to dower John, no dowry but her mourning shroud. John's threadbare mind, Mary demanding, grow a pair, you crazy bitch. How many women grind their clits while thinking of Mary? And Mary's undeniable girlness. Mary in all of us, Mary in all of us. Mary strapping on a dildo, her thin arms outstretched, her hands on the back of my neck. People always talk about sexy Jesus, and I'm like, what about sexy Mary? She was sexy first, like. Who do you think he got his sexiness from? It wasn't Joseph, that guy was old. He was like really old, for biblical times. Okay. I need to acknowledge that I'm reading off my phone and I hate it, but it's because my printer is broken. So I needed to say that. All right, so speaking of masturbation, this poem is called First Gay Crush. Do you guys know? Of course you do, because we're all like 30. We're averaging like 30 here. The OC was on Fox for like 4 seasons. Do you remember Alex Kelly? She's played by Olivia Wilde. Why are you all looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking about? You know who Olivia Wilde is, right? Okay. You didn't have a TV? You were born before TV was invented?
He's from Morgan City.
Well, so this is called First Gay Crush, Ode to Alex Kelly from the OC.
Damn. Gentlemen, thank you.
Damn. Oh, Alex Kelly. I am praising you for my stoop in New Orleans. Been thinking about thanking you. You, the being that hugged my maidenhood, saved myself my pearl, as the pastor said. I was grade A virgin pristine prime rib back then. When I first saw you, youth group lock-in, I feasted. Alone in my Sailor Moon sleeping bag, wanted you to know this sandwich board 13-year-old. Electric sprung and saving my pubescent sheen for you. Craved your ice cream kisses and beach walks. I would have saved you from Marissa and heartache, and how dare she try to be yours anyway? Alex, I couldn't hotwire a car or headbang at a metal show past 10 p.m., but I would have charmed you. At 13, my acne was clearing, and I'd almost graduated from cymbals to second first base in the marching band, and I would have chosen you. Our episode ending this way. Sticky with twisty treat ice cream, our hands are intertwined. Walking the beach, and as the camera pans, you veer towards the water, fist slam an oncoming wave until it splashes, and we laugh until collapsing. And as the credits roll, Alex, the salt will lick us clean. I have a goal of keeping this doll, this unnamed
You're great.
woman on my head, Judy. She has a name the entire time, but it's really fucking movie. I'm sorry, Judy, you deserve better than that. Maybe she doesn't. Stop it! How dare you? Those are fighting words. Okay. Alright, this one's... I have this lovely book with me, it's called Bayou Sonata. And it's particularly lovely. This has been, everyone clap for Ben, he's gonna go keep it. Do you see this really attractive woman in this book? Her name is Rachel, and she's actually in the audience right now. Do you want to show? Yeah, she's right there. Look at her. She's so pretty. I'm so sorry, Rachel. I'd be so mad if someone did that to me. It's really fucked up. But Rachel is really beautiful, and she's in this book. So if you want up to my it's okay. That's fair. You can be upset at me. We'll talk after. That's healthy communication, folks. Okay. So this is called Self-Portrait of Sappho in Love, and it's opposite of a photo of Rachel because she's so beautiful, but she's also really, really smart. She's getting her PhD, so you should talk to her. Yeah, everyone clap for Rachel. She's really All right, Self-Portrait of Sappho in Love. I don't think you knew this poem was going to be like opposite your face. You ready for this? Are you ready? You do. It's the hard nipples for me. No, it's the soft hair that surrounds the hard nipples. My thumb rotating counterclockwise as my fingers cup the rest of her breast. Again and again, and sometimes I cut my own, but it's really not the same. The thrill of you under me quite so new, the squirm. No, the lead up to the squirm, social media stalking and flirty texts, bar drinks that lead to waist touches, your big love crumb eyes, and one of us slow pushing the other against the wall below the darts. A beer is spilled, the probable get a room. Yeah. In the room, muscles better and nerves buzz, the soft firm electric of new lips on my hands, my tongue, my inner thighs. How you know my scars, how you lick them again and again and again. I kind of came up with my set list when I was sitting there. Julie went up and I was like, all right, Julie's doing all the fun, sexy shit. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do too. Okay. Because we're here and Todd's missing? Where'd Todd go? He's over there?
Oh,
He's downstairs?
he's getting a drink.
God damn it, Todd. God damn it. Well, he's gonna miss this one. No, I looked at Lindsay and I was like, are we reading sad poems or like sexy poems? And Lindsay was like, it's all gonna be fun. I'm like, yeah. So this is called Big BDSM Energy. Who's been to the Always Lounge?
I went to when it was cow pokes.
Cow
Cow
pokes?
pokes.
Like you poke a cow?
Not exactly. Do you remember cow pokes?
No.
Does anybody remember cow pokes?
No one knows what you're talking
It's
about.
always loud. There used to be cow pokes. I'm sorry, go on.
1965.
Could you like ride
I'm going for any bar, any other bar.
Well, this isn't the Always Lounge where you can still get folks if you want to. This is called Big BDSM Energy.
We used to play ball.
Nothing like a fine night of wine and dine with a little on the side. Strip poetry. When that bores us, my baby pulls out her harness. We call it quick poetry. Some things will never get old, like being strapped and straddled on stage. She hovering above me, nothing, nothing. She is everything. Bit-lip poetry. After a while, you don't notice the crowd. The light sheen sweat, I am all tongue-tied and gagged. The audience claps and she sways the stage, all hip poetry. We pass around my chapped gas book for tides. Bottoms up with a picture of her fine ass. We'll do almost anything for that $100 slip poetry. Nothing like the shine of hot stage lights, my baby's breath and sweet sweat drip. Always lounge for exclusives. Top dollar, optional, always down. Just the tip poetry. Come on, Todd. Everyone clap for Todd. Way to exist, Todd. Way to be amazing. Oh, hi. You're gonna sit next to Graham now? Okay, cool.
Well, you were giving him all the attention. I want to get the attention.
This is really just a love song between me and Todd. And you won't get to be a part of it. Yeah. So this one, the pandemic was wild in New Orleans, if you were here. I live off of St. Claude in the lower 9th ward, and so, woo, St. Claude. And so I would bike a lot because I own a bike. I still own a bike, but I never ride it. It was like a thing to ride your bike during the pandemic. It's literally sat on my porch for the last like 3.5 years. I rode it a lot during the pandemic, and it's very sad for my bike. I'm fine, but this is about biking on St. Claude Avenue outside of Hi-Ho Lounge, which is basically across the street from the Always Lounge. Tumbleweed, St. Claude Avenue, early Saturday. The hair on the neutral ground tells a story. There is conflict here outside Hi-Ho Lounge. Hold on, really quick. Have y'all seen like hair, like on the street? Tumbleweed. Cool. There is conflict here outside Hi-Ho Lounge. Perhaps between two friends, tipsy off $3 PBR and drunk with Gen Z anxiety. Perhaps the hair removal was self-inflicted. After a Friday spent perched on a bar stool waiting for Tinder Tina or Bumble Ben, waiting over shitty martinis pitched down a soft throat while the brass band played Do What You Wanna. Perhaps a hair flick gone wrong, an over-the-shoulder toss taken too far, aimed at an ex who needed to know what they were missing. The screen door swings shut behind me, buffered by my boyfriend's chapped hands. The kiss he blows lands in my bike seat. From my fixie, the early morning damp breathes dank on my neck, my hair cropped too close to soak the moisture or prevent its drip. Does the owner of this lost hair also feel the wet air slide down her spine? Does her regret also mingle with Pepto-Bismol? Crying pie? Whatever the case, tumbleweed doesn't lie. My phone, which I hate. So this is a half-assed Pantune for the leaders of the free world. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Judy off. I'm sorry. Judy. She's gonna be like a back.
Yeah. Perfect. She's a natural. I mean, something.
You can perch her on the microphone.
I'm not going to impale her on the microphone. Oh, I told you, drink, everybody drink. I said that first. Lift up your glasses. I feel like half of you are having fun and half of you are really not. That's true. Okay. I've been watching West Wing. I'm on season 3, like episode 6. Yeah. I met this woman in Wales, and now like our communication is entirely like watching shows together, and then we just like leave each other voicemails about what we're watching. So we watched Succession, and now we're watching West Wing, which is a huge commitment with someone I don't know that well because it's like 10 seasons. But anyway, we're in season 3 together. So thinking a lot about like our world and how everything like is. Well, the West Wing really just portrays like our government really loves you and is trying really hard. So it's like the opposite. It's like disillusionment, but in a way that I'm like, oh, but it's not real. Like this is very clearly not real. And also, we're still arguing about the same things we were 20 years ago. Like the last episode was about. Second last episode was about like a suicide bomber in Israel from Palestine and like free Palestine 100%. But I was like, holy shit, that this was like a political issue. I mean, it's been a political issue for so long. And then they had like a gun rights thing in the last episode where it was like open carry versus concealed. I'm like, we literally just did this in Louisiana. So it's really sad to think about it that way. Anyway, here's a poem called A Half-Assed Canteen for the Leaders of the Free. Inspired by that. We so America. We dazzling and dreamy balance coins on our tongues, swallow whole cities, ripe countries. Dazzling and dreamy, we sigh and dollars drip. Swallow whole cities, ripe countries, nostrils perfect, shooters. We sigh and dollars drip, so America we shit shackles. Nostrils perfect, snorters, pay us for the pleasure. We so America. So America we fuck fetters. This poem, so America, all pretty imagery. Pay us for the pleasure. We so America. A pool shining our faces. Oh say, oh say. Oh, 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 we so America. This poem's pretty imagery. Shiny teeth, $1 million smile. A pool shining our faces. Oh, say, can you see? We are so America. We. All right, just a few more. Did Mother Mary? She fucked me with a strap on. Everyone drink. Shout out to those of you that gave up alcohol for that. No!
It's over.
The cool kids.
It's over. We're close to the bar though.
Good thing. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more gay ones. They're all about like love. So I read Todd's collection, which I'm still gonna buy. I had the pleasure of blurbing it, which was really fucking fun. And it took me, I was like, what, 30 days late, 60 days late on it. We won't talk about it. I'm talking about it. I was really late on sending it to him, but I'm still gonna buy it in the bag. Everyone else should too. So his collection has a lot of focuses in part, especially towards the end, on like lost love and pain. So this one is on the 6th month anniversary of my ex's death, I meet her baby mama. Silence trumpeted like a third person. We said nothing for a few minutes. Grief, a string holding us together. Her ribs like teeth on a comb licked the air below her baby doll teeth, crowned her swollen belly. I bent down to the headstone, opened my mouth, and bit a rosebud clean from its stem. Buried the bulb inside of my body. Sweat swished between my toes. She came towards me, the other woman. put her hands on my face. "You have no idea," she said to me, "what this feels like." She put her hands back on her belly, territory marked in taut flesh. I wanted to touch her too. Imagine the drum-like skin of her stomach, a baby foot keeping time. Sweat danced beneath my breasts. I turned back to the bouquet. She put a soft hand on my shoulder, eyed the scrappy grass sprouts, the packed dirt. I thought of the girl in the fairy tale whose tears turned to seeds, then flowers. We said nothing, just stood. Silence as a third person. Grief stringing us all along. Judy, you're really weighing me down over here. All of a sudden, I'm like focused. I think this is the poem. Yeah, this is it. Okay. This is Rosalind's ending. So I've been working on poems from the perspectives of people from history who've been like kind of two-dimensional, they've been flattened. History and literature. So this is from Romeo and Juliet, and I believe it has the line in it that Todd likes. Todd, oh no, it might not be in here, I'm sorry, I thought it was, so I picked it. Anyway, this is called Rosalind's Ending. So it's like who Romeo is really in love with at the beginning of the play, then he literally never mentions her again once he meets Juliet. It's like super fucked up. He's like, "Rosalind, I love you, you're amazing." And then Juliet walks by and he's like, "Peace." Fuck off, Rosalind. She just like doesn't exist anymore. So this is Rosalind's Ending. Lip smackers cherry red, my lips 2 rose petals to press. What did you say? As pilgrim hands do. What a small way to live inside of her ribs. You, a reverse atom. I would tell you you're not my home anymore, but truly, you never were. I wake every morning in this killing machine called Verona, focused on the pale stretch of her legs, the way her ankles flashed when you danced. I want to rent her gown to a party space and dance on it. I want sugared tits and blow in the bathroom. My pussy, the biggest pothole in the city. You love to live to. I was once fluent in you. The language of your body is different now. Hurt in your veins making everything hurt. I am a foreigner in your own house. My spot on the couch, gone. You pass and I unsheath my grin, my knocking teeth. I think I've seen this play before, but I didn't like the ending. I would say, I'll remember you. I don't think it's true. We're coming up on the end, friends, just a few more. So another person from history that's been like really flattened. I was just in New York and I read an article in the New York Times about the New Yorker, the hotel that a man has stayed in. He's stayed there for like, didn't you else read this article?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he squatted in it because of a loophole that like he could, like you can't raise rent on someone if the building's over certain years old, and if he's like in a room in this building that's this many years old, he's technically a tenant and you can't kick him out. It's like a whole thing. So he like was living in the hotel for like, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, and paid $200 period for the whole thing. And where he really fucked up is he started getting greedy and wanting more things. Like he claimed to be the landlord and tried to rent out like the hotel room next to him as like a place that other people could rent from him. And like the landlords were like, okay, well we let you live here forever because we just didn't want to fucking deal with you. And now you're claiming to own the building and that's a problem. So anyway, that's the building that Nikola Tesla stayed in for like years and years, and like all of his pigeons moved in with him. Nikola Tesla was a crazy person and owed so much money to this hotel. So I was thinking about that. Because like, there's like pigeon shit everywhere. Like his room was like so nasty they had to like sterilize it multiple times. Like he he really had a thing for pigeons. So this is my poem called Nikola Tesla's Fall. Spinning a half-peeled orange on his two tallest fingers, Tesla flips his hair with a pop of bubblegum, moves his hips just so. Lately, he's been called sassy by the press. Mainly, he's tired of lotioning his heels, but the birdies insist on softness. He's tried Tinder, but his trysts have never sparked. His last match going like this: did you match with me to talk about Plath, or do you want some dick? He argues in bars that there are more beautiful things than Beyonce. He is no longer allowed in bars. The flock of pigeons posing as his mail-order bride, poofing at the first sight of toast. He tried to rouse a coup, but forgot that his dominoes teethed his pockets into ditties. He wonders, is it time to go apeshit? But he chooses to dance instead. St. Regis's windows blown by bombing coups, and when the manager flints the room into flames, Tesla vogues himself. I think I got 2 Levy poems, and then, yeah, I got like a sexy picture. If you want to hear it later, I'll read it to you. Thank you, Jim.
I want to hear it later.
You want to hear my sexy picture?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll send in some Levy poems and then an orgy. So I've been a runner for like more than half of my life. I started running when I was 14, so we're going on like 20 years. But then last year I just stopped running. I was like, I time qualified for Chicago Marathon, which is really hard to do. And so I was like, I don't feel like going, I just don't care, and I just stopped. I literally just stopped doing this thing that's really defined me for a long time, and I feel fine about it, which is also really weird. I talk to my therapist a lot, and she's like, do you think this is related to running? And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I think I'm fine. With that, there's plenty of other things that make me fucked up, but anyway, it's really bizarre, but here's a running poem. It's called Run, Bitch, Run. Also, I live in the lower ninth ward, so I run up the levee. When I ran, I don't do that anymore. Run, bitch, run. The sky is light and cold despite the air of fire. I run the levee, feel boundless, shoot nose rockets into stiff grass. I am free. This is Saturday as I have come to know it. This run, this body is broken. This body moves it numb across the city streets. My sandbagged body. The trees, thin sky, wet earth, all putting peace in thick, slow comfort. Sorry, youth. The youth, they run and run. Stretching, feeling, yawning, gulping, warming, creaking, tripping, catching, runting, grunting, sweating, cracking, slowing, ending, done. A tickle crawls at my urethra, sweat slick skin. I am all swamp, asphalt. What is it they say? Dewy, like a maiden without her head. Like my face after 17 miles, levees stretched like a corpse. Savasana. This is Saturdays I have come to love it. Run until I am all breath and only breath. I finish in a cemetery. That's just cliche poetry. Anna Akhmatova is a famous poet who's one of her like most quoted poems is like 3 lines, and it's, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's essentially like he loved 3 things in life: old maps, peacocks, I don't know, and he hated children crying, and me, I was his wife. So basically it was like I was not one of the loved things in his life. So this is a variation on Anna Akhmatova's He Loved. My she, the one who left me also loved three things in life. Sleeping naked in warm velvet blankets, walking the levee as sunlight crisped oak leaves, and sipping sweet wine slow until it danced on her tongue. She hated rising midnight to pee, folding her clean laundry into creased piles and telling me her plans, dinner, vacation, family. But that is not where it ends, is it, Anna? There is much between love and hate, this access to no man's land. Some days I was among the listed loved, showcased like a firefly in a lidded jar. The trapped learn best how to burn for desire. All pretty things must pass, and then what? I was not loved long enough to enjoy the tickle of Moscato d'Asti or the smooth embrace of Sunday velvets. The spun gold fool is burned from being loved long. Loved steady, she stretches to take from the sky open mouth to taste the sun on her tongue. She is loved to a crisp. Nope, not me. She loved three things in life. I was once beloved too, but thank God I was never her wife. Don't say aw. You're like, yay. She sounds like a bitch. All right. Todd, have you ever been to Mom's Ball?
No, because of the pandemic, and I have a problem with drinking, so I'm usually passed out by it.
That's right. So, yeah, it's a choice. You can't do Demi and Mom's Ball. Yeah. So this is a poem about orgies and Mom's Ball. And this capacity that we have in New Orleans to like celebrate the things that we love, but then also
It's hard to get out of
the flip side of that is ignoring all the things that are really bad, often. Because like we're all here, like getting drunk and having fun with each other, which is beautiful. And we're not outside City Hall like protesting. We're not outside City Hall falling apart, like our city. So it's the double-edgedness that we're here. It's beautiful. And
300 people.
So this is my last poem, and it's called "The World Ends and We Are in the Middle of an Orgy." The world ends, and we, middle of an orgy, spinning blue ice, we skate days at a time, powder skies, cocaine, Mom's Ball. Dropped from a waistband, we soak it all up, rolling it for days. The world is ending, and we party harder. Harder, we build our headdresses bigger, prep our lungs to scream louder for longer. The world is ending, and we turn up the volume. Crank the contrast, watch everyone through our amphetamine gaze, sunglasses tinted rosé, and we are lush with orgy. Swimming in bodies, we will forget this in the morning. Crave more, touch more, slurp this spot for more and more. The world is ending and all I want is dick. And two titties in each hand. Great.
Uh-oh, see, yep.
Get home. And I actually driven because it's bad out there. I went into the Nini's since I'm gone. It was a great.
Okay, here we go. Linzi Garcia loves being a poet. And bartender, editor, publicist for Meadowlark Press. She lives in rural Kansas because against all odds, she simply loves it. When she's not there, it's safe to assume she is here in New Orleans. Linzi and I met on one of the coldest days in New Orleans, years ago. Me with my gloves and flannel and vodka sprites, and she with her good whiskey and talent. Linzi Garcia.
so happy. That's true, that's true. That's one of my faults. I'm happy to a fault. Drinking helps. Yes, it does. Interpret that how you want. Let's take a moment to appreciate my wardrobe for a second. So Todd, thanks Judy. Yeah, Judy needs a hat. Todd got us these awesome hats that have his book cover on it. Carrie here, who's taking some badass pictures of our event right now. She took this picture of the Judys, and you can forever have that picture in your home, on your bookshelves, on your wall, if you buy one of Todd's books. We just feel so honored to be a part of Todd's book launch event, and it's a really fucking good book. It is one of those books that I've read over and over and over again, and I think you will too. Okay, so I'm gonna read you some poems. This first one's called Untouched. A sunrise drinking stopped feeling dirty and secretive years ago. Comfortable behind bar lights, he swallows his sins with the best whiskey around, which isn't great, but it's better than the other tastes in his mouth. He drinks alone. A fucking shame, he thinks. He breathes deep. He likes the bar smell. This place less stale with the AC. No such thing as spring in the swamp. Behind the bar, books, records, a bartender, all untouched. Everything's thirsty for company. Yeah. All right, how many of you have day jobs? Yeah, you go to work conferences? All right, work conferences are just disguises for partying. Yeah? This is a poem about work conferences. Tuesday night meetings at cigar lounges, hookah houses, and Irish pubs make all Wednesday morning professionals foggy, achy, ready to present a network, eager to go out again. I have a lot of short poems, so pay attention. Things I'm the queen of. Cooking spaghetti squash. Prematurely sealing envelopes. 50 of the 52 Sundays per year. Morning sex. Unfinished cups of coffee. Running in heels. Being fashionably late. And changing my mind. Drink. Cheers, Nikki. All right, second part of my outfit. Snake and Jake's Christmas Club Lounge. Tom and I got drunk the other night. So of course, like you do, so of course he takes me to Snake and Jake's, like you do. And I learned a lot of things about this honorable venue. Needless to say, I'm gonna write a poem about it later. Snake and Jake. The way it went. 2 years ago in Crescent Park, I was so rotten in love, I spoiled us. But in case I did it, when you propose, I ask that you stand on your tiptoes and dangle that rock in front of me like a dead rabbit. When you propose, I ask that you do it on a Tuesday during happy hour and buy me 3 drinks and 7 songs first. When you propose, I ask that you make a grand announcement and make everyone wish they were us. When you propose, I ask that you do it better than he did. I might say yes this time. Thanks. Third part of my wardrobe.
The booty?
The booty. I have nothing to say about these pants. But this poem's called Fill Up. He had invited me to his wedding. It would be rude if his ex, the woman he thought he would marry, were there. She doesn't know about me or about us. I sent a wedding gift, as one does. A heart-shaped box of the best chocolates. No note, hoping she'd fill up on those and not eat so much of him. Thank you. Have a drink. Or a bite if you're being responsible. This poem's called A Woman, because I like to be a woman. Her softest parts are crushed pink velvet, tickled by his touch. She opens to him, and he makes a home of her. You ever write a bad poem? Yeah, lots. Yeah, Graham. That's all Graham knows. Well, this poem's called Ugly. It's for all of those bad poems. Sometimes it's not about writing the prettiest poem. It's about pinning that poem to your back pocket, taking it out dancing, not letting anyone read it, ripping it up, tossing it to the floor at the last call, and dishing it for another prettier poem. It happens. Speaking of which, all the poems that made it into books are back there. We've all got some books for sale. And some free magnets and stickers that Julie and I designed. So that's pretty fun. All right. This is called Derailed. She can always count on him for a good derailing. She takes the corner too fast, tips far in one direction, crashes. She settles into the mess, her hips to the west, chest sun up, gaze to the east. Twisted, she loves the new perspective, the dust in her eyes, the gravel in her side. Neither of them admit fault, but savor her inability to move on. We all have that person. So we're an average of 30 years old in this room. That's right. So this one I wrote for myself on my 24th birthday. It's called 24. Do you remember what it was like to be 24? Well, here's what it's like. Yesterday I felt 16 again. You know? Light, optimistic, perky, supple. Today though, today I feel old. Like a 7-year-old Walmart shoe, scuffed and threadbare. Today my feet ache. I'm plump and dehydrated. I drink the rest of a warm beer left out after last night's dinner. Today, I feel so old, I might as well be 30. of Holiday. She wakes up more comfortable than she's ever been. Lights a joint, scans the hotel room, last night's aftermath, pizza crust, dirty glasses, a blanket halfway out the window. On the bedside table, condom wrappers, traces of blow. She fucks him one more time, orders room service. Yeah, she does. All right. Drink, take a bite, take a breath. Got a few more for you. This one's called Explosion Sound, which I wrote completely innocently, and then was made aware multiple times that it was referred to as my blowjob poem. So, you know, no, not even from Todd. It's called Explosion Sound. If you were a poem, I'd eat you, raw, rip you right out of your freshly printed book, and shove you as far into my mouth as my tongue and tonsils allow, without swallowing you. I'd marinate you in my saliva and muster patience for the slightly soggy, tender version of your texture. I'd grind you down with my greedy and thorough molars and get your grated bits stuck where my wisdom teeth used to be. I'd save you in my gum and cheek pocket, and every time I'd pucker my lips, your words would shoot tingles across my entire jaw. All right.
No question.
I'm gonna read you one more, and then I'm gonna introduce our man of the hour. This one's not sexy, though I do have more of those, so like Nikki said, we can talk later. It's called Snow Day. Everyone's trying, okay, wait, let me preface this. Snow Day. So I'm from Kansas. You guys don't know what a snow day is. So snow.
Falls from the sky.
Snow falls from the sky, makes it difficult to go outside, you know, and sometimes they like cancel schools, nobody goes to work, you know, it's fucking great, you make cookies, you watch movies, you know.
Fargo feels free.
So this is called Snow Day. Everyone's tracks are visible if they're going out at all. Nobody murders on a snow day. Thank you all so much. Glad you could be educated. All right. We have made it to our grand finale. Our man of the hour, Mr. Todd Cirillo. Let's give it up for Todd. Todd knows our poetry better than anybody else. Todd reads and rereads and thinks about and rereads our poems, and it is just such an honor to have somebody who cares so much about poetry really pay that close of attention to your own writing. He knows where to cut the bullshit and just get to the soul of the poem. And I think that's something we all aspire to achieve, and Todd does that in every single one of his poems, so more reasons to buy his books. When Todd writes, what stands out to me is how I keep coming back. Like I said, I've read Disposable Darlings multiple times because there's always something there that I want to do in my own writing or that I think is just so beautifully done in his own. It's art. It's art. It might be silly, it's fun, it's sexy, but really it's well-crafted poetry. And I have spent years studying this shit, which he makes fun of everybody who does that. But let him know it serves him when I say that out of everybody I have studied, Todd writes unlike anybody I know. Anybody I've ever met. It's simple but impactful writing, and that's how he lives his life too. He has 6 books, did you know that? 6! I'm gonna tell them to you. 4 of them are back there. We've got Sucker's Paradise, Burning the Evidence, Roxy, The Reef of the Road, Kisses from a Straight Razor, and now Disposable Darlings. He lives in New Orleans, so you guys are fucking lucky enough to share the city with him. Right now he's right here, but when you miss him, you can find him at toddcirillo.com. Please join me in welcoming the man of the hour, Mr. Todd Cirillo.
Well, I don't know about man of the hour, but I'm up here. Well, what I first have to do is I got to tell you about really the superstars of the evening, and this is Judy. And no, I got her because, well, eventually, you know, she's all right. She's all right. This is Judy. And this is half Judy. And if y'all like the cover of the book, here's how it happened. Was that the marvelous and magnificent photographer, Carrie DeMay, she's done my last few books. We were out and we were drinking and trying to get the shot, and well, it just didn't happen, so we said, well, let's go to Harry's, and we'll have tequila, and we'll just drink and whatnot, and we did. Now, the only problem with that was that I had been 86 from Harry's, and I was a little hesitant to get back in.
To which my response was, how do you get 86 from here?
Correct. Well, ta-da! And Carrie said, well, we'll just go in inconspicuous like. So we walked in with 3 blow-up dolls and whichever way it worked, the bartender either didn't remember kicking me out or thought we had such guts he would just admired it so. And we walked in and we ordered our drinks and we set up all the Judies there and we were the most popular people in the place for the whole afternoon. And all the tour groups came in and said, excuse me, I'm from Iowa. Could I take a picture with your blow-up dolls? Yes, we said yes. So anyways, she's the greatest photographer in New Orleans. Julie Valin did the graphic design on it. All right, enough of that. Ready? Yeah! Gifts. The son of a bitch left me broke and blacked out with a stripper's name written in black Sharpie on my forearm. 3 bright orange traffic cones in my bedroom. And a 2-day hangover. He is the best friend ever. Slut shaming. It was a wild one, that much I know. Now, first light of morning, unclear of how we arrived in these unfamiliar surroundings, clear on what happened though.
Clearer still on the consequences that await. Trying to be quiet, I say out loud, "You fucking slut," as I wash my face and avoiding the mirror. Alpha Male 2024. A group of 12 bros just off the swamp tour come out of the bar, yelling and backslapping. They stand in the sun by the bayou, all tough, high-fiving, talking about bitches and how they're gonna tear Bourbon Street up, dog. The toughest of them shouts at the gator in the water about how they could take that motherfucker. The gator is far out of reach and unimpressed, while others punch each other in their barbed wire tattooed arms, wearing freedom isn't free t-shirts and MAGA hats, while sipping their passion fruit high noon. Now, those of you who know me know I'm a very religious person, and so I'm going to dedicate this to Miss Miller. Because, well, it is Great Friday. Faith, the day of my religious conversion, you walked out the door for good. I knew at that moment there was a God. Another religious one, Saints of the Neons. It matters not what bar, any town, anywhere. It is where us serious drinkers talk shit and gossip, backslap and bullshit, yet hold one another tight when the time is necessary. And if 2 weekends pass, we wonder where you've been. We've broken up in front of the beer taps and busted our faces at happy hour defending someone's honor. We have seen kids grow up and marriages grow old. Lives born and lights go out. We've heard every jukebox tune 1,000 times, sometimes in one sitting. We have been over-tipped to be overserved. We've woken up to the hair of the dog and passed out when the sun shows its face. We have done shots and been shot down. Down pints and puked in the garbage cans. Embarrassed and absolved ourselves over Jaeger bombs and Bloody Marys. Here we are equal, equally lost, equally broke, equally off. But we look almost innocent under the neons. We spend hungover holidays on bar stool thrones where liquor bottles stand like gods under Christmas lights, providing us gifts we didn't know we needed. Even though Sunday mornings can be brutal, without a hint of redemption, we crawl back to the neons, full of confessions and contrition. The bartender, where we never have to order, and the bartender simply has it waiting with a beer back of forgiveness. And that feels better than church to saints like us. Poetry suckers. I am proofreading her book of poems, which will be published this year, and smiling at all the idiot men who will read it, while seriously believing that the poems in the book are all about them. But I know who they are really about. At least that's what I tell myself. Kick out the jams, motherfucker, for Julie Valin. She keeps going back to the blues when I want her to be rock and roll, punk's early years, grunge and heavy metal thunder. I simply want her to quit fucking around, kick out the jams and put her stories down on the page. To get those words out to the masses. But she doesn't want to be a front woman. Swinging the microphone center stage, front page of all the magazines, busting hearts, heads and guitar strings. She simply wants to hold on to that slow rhythm back porch blues with a melody that doesn't burn out or fade away, but drifts across the years until eventually everyone hears it and realizes this is where it all began. Passing the time, sitting with the old timers again, mid-afternoon, one of the last legitimate bars left in town. We stare at the games on the TV, gaze out of the dirty windows, play the occasional classic rock song on the jukebox that reminds them all of when they drove tougher cars, had hotter women. Now, they talk about their women and how they just don't compare to that one chick they met at the Grand Funk Railroad show in 1976. Some men don't even talk about their women at all, just Grand Funk Railroad. They all flirt with the afternoon shift bartender, tell her she still got it. Saying that the evening shift bartender with the big tits whose shift begins at 6 p.m. is a bitch and can't pour a proper drink for shit. They order their drinks and then nod to music of long ago, and they slowly fade away, far away from inspiration, from love, from bills, children, and eventually themselves. And the sun begins to go down on all of us as the big-titted bartender's shift crawls closer, and we all begin to sip our drinks a little slower, saving our money for another round after 6. Shout out for Nikki Ummel. Superstar. At the reading, in a room full of poets, the famous one on stage says, "And now I'll read 2 poems from my favorite poets." And she scanned the audience from the right side of the room to the left, as if looking for them, introducing a wave of straightened backs, wide open eyes that followed her intently with smiles of total confidence. As she read line after line of her favorite poet's poems, we all began to slouch in our seats and look back down at our phones again, forgetting the poems as quickly as whoever it was that wrote them. Here's one from Linzi. This is a true story. No one was harmed in this poem. But one of us thought about it. Deja vu. She spun the wheel, turning fast into a Walgreens parking lot, slamming on the brakes hard for a woman on crutches and a broken leg who was slowly hobbling across the sidewalk. Linzi said, "Don't want to hit that woman on crutches." I said, "Why not? Looks like she's been through this before." Concerned citizen. See if y'all can recognize this place. That was right there. Talking loudly, she said on her phone, "I don't want you to think I'm stalking you or anything, but I was wondering where you were." I could not hear his response as she continued, "I mean, you haven't been at your house, you haven't been at work, or answered any of my calls, emails, Facebook messages, texts, or tweets. Don't you see I had to keep calling in case you were hurt?" After hanging up, she exclaimed, "Oh shit," and proceeded to dial him back. "Hey, I'm at the 3-legged dog on Burgundy and Conti," she told him, since he obviously forgot to ask. The game. There she was, across the bar. I had my drink, she had hers. I liked her glasses and the Mardi Gras headpiece she wore. When I would look up in her direction, she would be looking my way. And even at this distance, I could make out a smile, so I smiled back. Sipped my drink and pretended to examine my phone for important messages. Then I would casually look up, and there she would be, sipping her drink and looking my way every time. We played this game over the course of about 4 or 5 cocktails. It felt like the opening scene of a movie, and then she walked towards me, and I planned my opening line. When she was right in front of my table, her head began to lift like a plane taking off. And she said, "Excuse me, I just want to get a closer look. I've been watching the game all night." At that moment, the 75-inch screen above me became painfully clear. And I thought, it is time I should retire from this sport. Couple more. A New Orleans compliment. I was trying to be clever when she was simply being thoughtful. She said she describes me to her friends as kind and genuinely happy. Something about that didn't quite cover it for me. So I smiled confidently and I said, "Don't forget ruggedly handsome." And she laughed, touched my cheek, and reminded me, "I've seen you full of glitter, in rainbow tutus, red spaghetti striped dresses, wrapped in feather boas with a huge smile on a disturbingly regular basis. You see how it would be difficult to describe you that way." And I smiled again, feeling oh so pretty. Where's Graham? Graham and I have recorded an album, and Graham and Daryl are gonna come up, and we're gonna do one thing from the album and another thing from us. Now, but we have recorded an album, and it should come out. It's called Last Call California. Homes for the room. So we got 2 more things. Thank you so much. Please buy everyone's stuff out there. There are free stickers and magnets if you don't have it. Buy drinks.
Give them Judy. Give them Judy.
Oh, yeah.
Put her in position.
The Judys will appreciate it. I'm telling you, it was the best afternoon I've ever had. Carrie will tell you.
It was great.
All right, so this is one from our album that should be coming out. Texas. I have reached the point of becoming a goddamn country music cliche. I sit alone in a dirty bar in ripped jeans, trucker hat, light wallet, surrounded by old torn posters, faded chalkboard, blinking half neon. Dusty bottle of root beer schnapps not touched since '78. Busted dreams, drinking cheap beer and strong shots. Listening to Waylon Jennings sing about Willie and the boys. And I know all the words. These kinds of situations make a person reflective, and I realize that my life contains most of the classic
right, so we're gonna end on this one. Thank you all so much. Really give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your help. I love you. We're gonna ask your help with this one. It's a simple hand clap. Can you do that?
Classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and Graham wants you to sing along if you know
Yeah, that's
it.
right.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Good job.
I guess I should have known by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. If we're only that simple, if the signs were just that clear, maybe it would make falling in love that much easier. We've had 1,000-mile marker love affairs, leaving our hearts tire marked and bleeding all over the road. Red lights, road closed, or giant signs simply saying stop will save us from all those end of the road breakdowns. I need to clear neat and middle clear. Sucker's paradise ends right now. But it was Saturday night. I guess it makes it all right. Okay, we've got technical difficulties, so let's start again. Allow us to start again. All right, here we go. I guess I should have known by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. If it were only that simple, if the signs were just that clear, maybe it would make falling in love that much easier. Then we would have a better chance of allowing us our time under the stars to move on before they move out. But it was Saturday night. I guess that makes it all right. We've got 1,000-mile marker love affairs that leave our hearts tire marked and bleeding all over the road. Red lights, road closed, or giant signs simply saying stop that saved us from all of those breakdowns. I'm a big, clear neon billboard that says Sucker's Paradise, exit right now. But it was Saturday night, and I guess it makes it all right. And you say
You need a love, it's gonna last. I said,